Here we are then for some more F1 2021 League Racing action, and you join me here today for the Belgian Grand Prix in Psgl F2, aka second split on the PC platform. Now, if you guys haven't seen the previous episode before we jump into this one and any potential spoilers, then go check out the French Grand Prix, guys, a wet race, link up in the top right. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more League Racing content, then get subscribed for that daily content, guys, because I'm doing about 2 videos a week and also 2 streams a week as well on my Twitch, link down below. So if you want to get subscribed for that action and you want to support the channel, then by all means do so. But today we're here, Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix, and if you guys are relatively short-term viewers of the channel, you will know my recent history with this racetrack has not been very positive. I've had a lot of spins, a lot of issues with curbs around here, so all I'm hoping for really is a clean weekend and, you know, just try and hook it all together and have a clean run. Now, you join me in qualifying. I'm going out for a medium tyre run. It's a bit of a banker lap here, and we're currently going through Les Combes. Now, on the exit of here, we actually lose the back end, and somehow we DNF'd. You can see my reaction. I could not believe it. If you watch it back, I don't know how that was a DNF, because damage on this league is set to standard, not simulation. How was that terminal damage? What? You can hear me. I'm absolutely shocked that we somehow got terminal damage from that. But yeah, our qualifying has come to an early end, and we're going to start the race from P20. I can't lie, I'm starting to hate this now. I'd love to give you guys a bit more of a better showcase of my abilities and what I actually can do, but it feels like at the minute either bad luck or me making mistakes keep getting in the way from my true pace. So, oh man, what can I do? It's a shame. The plan in qualifying was to go for a medium run and then 2 soft tyre runs, therefore saving a set of fresh soft tyres for the race in case we have safety cars. But still, that's not going to happen, and we're going to start from last place. So yeah, that's it for qualifying. Now let's jump into the race and let's see if we can turn this around and see what happens. You know, we've done a good job in the last race, and I feel like we've got a good pace. So let's give it a shot and let's hope for the best. So you join me at the end of the formation lap, and we're here for the start of the race. Now the strategy, pretty straightforward. Mediums to start, and then softs on the second stint. Alternate strategy, 1 stop. And we're going to see if we can make it work. Again, if France has anything to go by, then there should be opportunities based off incidents on track. So all we've got to do is try and keep things clean as we line up in our grid slot. So here we go. Let's make it work. Short run to turn 1. The lights are on. Let's make it a good start. Underway we go. Clean traction actually off the line, to be fair. No wheel spin. Not the most spectacular start, as Dylan Warren gets a bit of a poor start. I believe he's either paused or running under AI right now. So we're going to get ahead of him around the outside of turn 1. We've got Paris ahead of us right now. Of course, familiar name if you know from last year in AOR. He was a rival for the AOR Championship. He was here this race as a reserve. Up through Rouge and Radion, and we've got our teammate Lewis Welch up in P17 as well. So he's had a bit of a poor qualifying, as we're both off the pace here so far. Down the Camel Straight into Les Combes, we're going to just be cautious, try and find the braking and make no mistakes. Paris actually hits the back of my teammate, and just a bit of contact there as they all get a bit out of shape. And I believe quite a few cars getting damaged. Paris, I believe, has damage. He tried to slow down. We almost run into the back of him as a consequence. So Paris waves us through and lets us go by. I think we've got a bit more damage up ahead from other cars as we head through here. We've got a McLaren out of shape. Also Christian Sendel moving to the side as he also has wing damage. And everyone just having issues and incidents here on lap 1 as we've got Shazoo get owned ahead of us, who I believe also has damage, but it's very, very minor. So he's going to keep pace right now as Lewis Welch gets tagged. Apparently Lewis said he just spun on himself, so a bit of an unfortunate one there. We've got Stachylek, another car with damage we're going to overtake here, and we're now up to P15. So in 1 lap we've gained 5 places just by keeping it clean and staying out of incidents. So we've done a pretty decent opening lap. Unfortunately, our teammate Lewis again is unfortunate and has another incident, but down to Pouan we go, and lap 2, get owned, has wing damage. You can see he's really struggling for grip, and I could be super aggressive and try and go for an absolute send, but again, it's only lap 2. There's no need to panic or rush into things. So we're going to just, you know, line this move up nice and patiently and make it work. It's worth noting Dylan Warren has now regained control. He's behind us and running at full pace, but you'll see here now, get owned, the understeers off the track. Oh shit.
flag. There's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Oh, okay. Smash us hit the wall.
It's a safety car.
Mate. Oh. Now, as you can hear, I couldn't believe it. Everyone's going to pit, you know, especially those on the soft tyres. We're going to stay out because the pit lane is far too busy. And also, we're on a set mediums. It's only lap 3, so we can still make this work. And I feel like this strategy could still be the way to go. We'll get to go on a set of softs at the end when everyone's really struggling on their tyres, who are going to be running a very long one-stop. So that's going to be the plan. We're going to try and run at the front, see if we can, you know, find some pace in these tyres. And I'm kind of putting a lot of faith in the soft tyres in the second part of the race to get us back into it. Now, end of lap 3, the remaining cars are going to pit, so that will move us up into P2. And we're going to be in second place behind Chanakinchi, who wasn't able to pit because his teammate was in as well. So, yeah, we're going to pretty much run the strat of following Akinchi for the first couple of laps until his soft tyres start to wear out. Once he's struggling, we'll make the pass, and we'll see what kind of pace we have. We've got a bunch of cars on hard tyres behind us, of course. They're going to go to the end. So again, if we can just stay ahead, frustrate them, make them use their tyres, we can fight back later on fresh softs. So let's get ready. Restart underway, very, very low pace right now, and the medium's getting a little bit cold as Akinchi controls the field. Now we go underway, so going into lap 6, the race is going to get back underway. So let's see how this goes, how this all shakes out. The first order of business, as I mentioned before, is just to keep pace, stay within DRS of Akinchi, and then take it from there. If we manage to drop the hard tyre runners out of DRS range, that would be a bonus. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and I'll tell you why. My pace wasn't there. I wasn't terribly slow. The issue is I had absolutely no confidence in the car. It felt like I was driving on ice. Even on the mediums, you know, the grip was fine, but I just had no confidence attacking any corners. You know, the curbs just made me feel really unconfident around here, and I really am struggling with this particular track with curbs. But we have now, you know, put some pressure on Akinchi. We got a yellow flag behind. We also pick up our first warning for track limits as we cut the inside there of the chicane. As you hear Lewis say in the background, Sam Bean has spun, and he is the championship leader. So a bit of a big moment in this race as he goes for the spin. In the meantime, though, I can tell Dezelewski, who's overtaken Ulas Zulrim and Andreas Dolmar as well, they're putting pressure on me, so I have to respond here. And even though I don't want to, I'm going to have to go for this move on Akinchi because I don't want to get overtaken just yet. So we're going to go to the outside. I believe Akinchi will actually end up pitting, so that's going to release us into clean air. And Dolmar and Dezelewski will battle away. Now watch this into turn 1 as they're both side by side here. We're going to brake nice and late, keep it tidy, but then we get a massive shunt in the rear, and I think not Dezelewski, Andreas Dolmar went for a spin. There was contact between him and Dezelewski, and yeah, just in general, the driving standards in F2 have been really, really poor this season so far, and we've seen more of it so far as we've seen, you know, the lap 1 incidents, all the broken front wings, Sam Bean going for a spin, and now that incident right there in turn 1, and now we've got Zulrim and Dezelewski battling on the hard tyre here for P2. This is allowing me to keep pace, but again, I'm not really that fast. I'm really struggling to make this tyre work, and I can't really benefit or capitalise from other people's mistakes. You know, I feel like if I had the confidence, I could probably find the pace to drop them out of the 1 second window, but we're just struggling as we get another warning for track limits through turn 9. So 2 in the space of a lap, and we're now on 2 warnings as we struggle through pool on there, hitting the inside curb. But now at lap 10, things are going to start to open up. So Dezelewski, pretty fast. He had really strong pace on the hard tyre, and he's now going to go for the move. He's charged up his ERS, and he's going to go for it. I'm not going to fight. I'm going to let him take the race in line. I'm not going to use any ERS, and we'll just let him pull ahead. We'll try and follow him, stay within a second, and see if we can extend our stint to about lap 14. That's going to be the plan here, because the longer we go, the better the final stint on the soft tyre. So yeah, Dezelewski goes by. We'll settle into P2. Pedreño is now up to 3rd. He's overtaken Ulas, also on a set of mediums. He's going to have to go a long way to make those tyres work to get those to the end. But nonetheless, lap 11, Pedreño now is going to look for the move. I thought about defending, but realistically, there's no point. So we quickly turned off the ERS, and we'll let Pedreño go by. He's on the inside here. I'm going to try and hang it on, but it's just not going to happen. You know, it's realistically, I just don't have the grip. He's on much fresher medium tyres than myself. Meanwhile, behind we've got Azulrim and John HX4K just sitting behind us right now as we just try to get to the end of this stint. To be fair, the tyres didn't feel too bad, so I think we're going to make it to lap 14 quite comfortably. But yeah, lap 11 at the end of it now, into the bus stop chicane. You can see we've got pretty much all of us running in a train, as there was some kind of incident behind involving HX4K, and not sure what happened exactly, but there's a bit of a gap now between Ulas and Jeffrey Ritchie, so we've got a bit of a 4-car breakaway as a consequence. Meanwhile, Ulas making the move here. He had a look into turn 1, but we were able to get a nice clean exit, and because of the DRS ahead to the cars ahead, I was able to keep position on the Kemmel straight and keep him behind for at least another lap. Now, end of lap 14 though, we've made it. We're going to finally pit. A bit overcast, but no rain expected this race, so we're going to go ahead and box for the soft compound tyres. You see we've got Stachylek and Yari Fitz on 3-second time penalties in P5 and P6, so important information. Also Shazoo Neon as well with a 3-second time penalty, so there's going to be a few penalties we can benefit from later on, but we're now going to box. Soft tyres on, 2.6, slightly slower than usual, and sometimes you get a 2.5 if you're lucky. And we're going to get back on the way. Lewis having a pretty poor race as well. He had a few incidents, and Lewis is going to try and go for the fastest lap. P13 for us though, as we rejoin. P13 out of 15, and we've now got to fight back. You can see the gaps up ahead, and we've got the work to do. So you join me now on the out lap, and I get my third and final warning. Again, just cutting at that same corner as before. And I was really annoyed because it's such a stupid mistake, but the pure grip of these tyres just caught me off guard. I was being a bit too cautious and conservative, and it caught me out. Now, having said that,
terrible race. I hate when I can't practice. I hate it. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one.
What's that?
you can hear me rambling in the background as we get a 4th warning for track limits. You know, I didn't practice much for this race. I didn't have the time. And it's really frustrating because I wish I had more time to practice. Hopefully that will change soon. I've got some stuff planned out. But anyway, end of lap 16. Now, Yari Fritz is going to pit. So we're up to P12. And suddenly, points are starting to look likely. We set our fastest lap of the race. And I've got to be honest, the pace on these tyres was really, really strong. We had really good, consistent pace. And also, I was starting to find my confidence and my mojo. And I was able to keep pushing every single lap. Now, lap 17, we've caught up to Stachylek, another car with a penalty. But you can see ahead, Akinci also has 3 seconds now as the penalties start to add up. Up to P11, we set another personal best with the purple sector 3, but Lewis Welch now has the fastest lap. So we're going to keep this pace going, and we're going to keep pushing all the way until the end of the race. We now cut on to lap 18, midway through the lap, and up ahead, yellow flag. Desaluski has crashed at Pouon. I believe from P4, he's had a massive shunt on the right, and we're now P10, into the points. So somehow, after starting last and getting a penalty, I'm somehow running in the points. And at this point, I was speaking to Lewis Welch, who is in P13, about to be P12, and I was saying to him, keep going, you never know, we might get double points in this race somehow. If cars keep stacking it, you never know, things might go away. So at this point, we've joined the DRS train. Everyone has a 3-second time penalty, and we're on the last lap of the race. So my tyres were starting to now lose performance a little bit, but you can see it's the last lap, so everyone is going for it. Into Lecom, you can see 3 wide here as Kinty tries to go for it on Norberto and Villacampa in both the Ferraris, but you can see there's a bit of lag going on as well as all 4 of these cars jostling for position. Down towards turn 8 though, there's going to be a bit of a moment here as Villacampa goes sideways. Oh my god, I had to get on the brakes there. I was waiting for him to ghost, and we just about got away with it, but as a consequence of that, we've lost a lot of time. Now, what I do know, at the front of this train, Shazoo Neon has 6 seconds worth of time penalty. So right now, if we just close up here, we can finish P8. If we can overtake Norberto and Akinci, we can finish in P6. So the chase is on, but we're running out of corners and running out of time. And that big moment there where we had to get on the brakes to avoid contact with Villacampa may have just cost me a chance at P6. On the back straight though, using all of my battery here, giving it everything that we've got at this final stage of the race. And it's all going to come down to this, the bus stop chicane. Can we find something? Neon, Norberto, Akinci, all going at it. And we're going to hope for a bit of a miracle here as we head into the final chicane. Trying to brake late, we actually lose the back end a little bit. And then through the left, nothing really happens. So we'll finish P8, we'll benefit from Neon's penalty and pick up a P8 finish. And at the time, And as you'll see in the final race result, it is going to be P8 for us in this race. You can see the amount of penalties today, an absolutely shocking race in terms of driving standards. And by the way, I'll include myself in that. You know, I'm not happy with how I drove. But then again, driving standards, I differentiate track limits penalties to collisions and on-track incidents. And there was a lot of crashes in this race, just like in France. A lot of messy driving. So I feel like on that front, I can hold my head up. I was pretty clean and I had a pretty decent race. Now, I do want to mention, because you won't see it on screen as we're looking at the final race results, but there was some post-race penalties applied. So it turns out after the race, Ulas Ozulirim in P2 actually got a 10-second time penalty added to his time. So that means we move up to P7. So happy days. And for the next race, Piotr Stachilek in P11 has a 5-second time penalty to be added to his time already. So a bit of a messy race, lots of incidents, but P7 for us, our best finish of the season. And if we look at the standings, it doesn't change much for us. We're still P11, so we've gained a couple of places and we're just shy of the top 10. And I feel like I'm due a big race, so Netherlands will be a key race for us. The bad news is, even though with the points, we're last and bottom of the constructors, so myself and Lewis Welch need to improve. We both know we can do better. Lewis is super fast, he's the fastest power player in the game. It's just not been his season so far. He's been extremely unlucky, not just in Psgl, but other leagues as well. And we're hoping to both turn our form around. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode and enjoyed the race. It was a good one and a good fun one all round. And it just goes to show why you should never retire on lap 1 after an incident. And just keep going, keep chipping away. Things can happen and go your way. And you get a reward at the end of it. So somehow from P7 to from P20 to P7 with a 3-second time penalty, I've pulled off a madness, I've frauded it, and I don't know how I've done it. But if you guys enjoyed the race and the carnage, leave a like, subscribe for more, and as always, a big shout out to the channel members. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the Netherlands with a bit of a better race. Until then, take care, and this is goodbye from me.